Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Sonic the Hedgehog here, aka the Blue Blur, aka Blue Justice, and I am from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, as you probably expect at this point in time. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Sonic Frontiers for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X/S, PC Steam, and finally the Nintendo Switch. So last time we essentially did manage to do quite a number of things during the forms of the fifth and final island in the game as of now, which appears to be by the forms of our Ouranos Island, and in addition to that we also managed to collect 2 Chaos Emeralds so far, and exponentially we also did manage to able to tackle through quite a few cyberspace segments here and there, in addition to that completing some more challenges as to be expected. So today for this video is about the fact that we're about to able to collect even more Chaos Emeralds, and exponentially we're able to actually complete more challenges here and there to able to actually fill out the entire map. So either way though, yeah, let's just go ahead and get this thing started, shall we? So exponentially speaking though about the fact that there are a couple of times that we might able to actually bump into some more Guardians as soon as we can able to actually continue exploring for the rest of the forms of this island. So eventually though I can able to actually get myself my trophy or achievement, depending on what version of the game you're playing. So either way though, now I get the strong sense of feeling about the fact that one of those challenges in particular, that it does requires me to able to do yet another Tetris puzzle. So either way though, yeah, we'll able to actually come across into that later. So but either way, for the most part though, there's just not much else I can say about the forms of this particular island. I think something tells me about the fact that this entire island right there is actually kind of similar structure as the forms of how it does it from Ouranos Island, except the fact that it's quite massive. So because of this though, usually if I like to call this island Ouranos Island Part 2, just because we're about to be collecting exactly the same memory token shape as the forms of how it does it in Ouranos Island, meaning about the fact that we have to collect the heart ones. So you know, you probably get the gist of how this is going, so but either way though. Now originally I was expecting about the fact that I get the strong sense of feeling about the fact that there's going to be one of those nighttime challenges that we have to able to sort this out, but I don't think we can probably necessarily need to be worried about this for right now. So darn it, I think my jumps are screwed up, so whoops. So a few things I want to explain for this point today, and that is about the fact that today's date is of course the 6th of July today, in this case in 2023 today. We've only got about roughly 15 days left now until Pikmin 4 is about to be releasing on the Nintendo Switch, and exponentially about the fact that I think I'm actually still looking forward to it though, especially notable that again it's about time that we finally get ourselves Pikmin 4. And it's a good thing I finally managed to give Pikmin series another chance, just because about the fact that I think this is probably the most recognizable video game series from now on, even though it's a shame about the fact that the sales numbers wasn't all that ridiculously high. So I wonder about the fact that if Pikmin 4 might able to actually reach for its high expectations when it comes to the actual sales units or something like that. Well, I suppose we'll find out later, after when the game actually launches. So but either way though, let's not get hopes up for this point just yet. So anyway though, so let's just go ahead and scale for those walls, and I think I get the strong sense of feeling about this too, that we might able to actually come across into some familiar rail grindings, as you can tell. That's almost like a circle formation. Like as a result, if we switched over to 2D perspective, does that look familiar to you? It appears to be it does remind me of something like a similar camera perspective as in Sonic Lost World, except unlike in Sonic Lost World, that thankfully in Sonic Frontiers there's no life system, so because of this though, you can potentially try to fall off and die as many times you wanted to, I guess. So but either way, and exponentially we'll get ourselves the power of defense, so we're able to actually obtain that as soon as we're able to done look at the map. So anyway though, there are quite a number of things I could possibly discuss upon this as well, but I think I should probably save that topic until for later, because as you can tell about the fact that, well, exponentially, I'm just gonna have to admit that right away is about the fact that I'm actually kind of annoyed at this point today, not only because about the fact that the actual video processing department when it comes to likely completing certain recording sessions takes a long time, but it was also about the fact that I was potentially got annoyed about the fact that during that recently, my headphones, or potentially speaking, my left headphone is actually not working anymore. I think the only reason being for this is because I believe the cable is actually cut off. So because of this though, yeah, it's kind of a nuisance though. So exponentially though, if I was trying to listen to some cool music on my laptop or something like that, and exponentially though, I had a lot of fun listening to the forms of certain musical tracks. When it comes to listening through my headphones, despite the fact that it might be seems unnecessary on my end, but exponentially speaking, though, it's just about the fact that I just got annoyed that the left part of my headphones is no longer working. Whilst the right one it still works though, but it's just about the fact that I just have no idea what that particular left part of the headphones is no longer working, and I was usually predicted that about the fact that the actual cable cuff is actually the reasoning for it. So, like, I didn't jinx it or anything, it's just about the fact that it's probably because it's aged, I guess, so. Oh, and also recently about the fact, I suppose that Ray has totally forgotten to mention about this, is about the fact that, yes, recently we've watched the next episode of Secret Invasion, so as a result, yeah, not much else to talk about. So, but either way though, jeez, we need to get about 3 portal gears to be able to actually access to this next, cyberspace transporter, so. Yeah, that just seems quite a lot, especially noticeable about the fact that I think something tells me that it's going to take place in, let's just say, I'm not exactly sure what the level layout is supposedly going to be, but I suppose we should probably find out right now, actually. So either way, though, yeah, let's just dive right into this, shall we? So, I wonder what that particular... Oh, this is an awesome one. It appears to be by the forms of a skateboarding down this little, go downhill and stuff like that. I think I will say that this is without a doubt the coolest cyberspace segment in the entire game in my opinion, because it does remind me of City Escape all over again, except the fact that, well, as to be expected with most any other like cyberspace levels, it's super duper short, especially noticeable about the fact that if you know exactly what the level layout is supposed to be. So, but either way though, chances are though about the fact that you have no troubles with it at all or something, so. Anywho though, also I'd like to point things out is about the fact that recently, out of nowhere, that I've recently managed able to saw the Season 2 first episode in terms of the forms of Sonic Prime already, all because of the forms of the YouTube stuff. And because of that though, I was expecting about the fact that it was going to be on Netflix, but exponentially speaking though, that the Netflix version of episode 1 on Season 2 of Sonic Prime will be expected to be releasing next week. So as a result of that kind of stuff though, the episode is called Avoid the Void, and as a result, I had a lot of good times with that particular episode, because, well, I'm probably not going to get into any spoiler details at this point. Oh, so we actually get on to 4-9, so this is technically the final cyberspace level, like, according to the forms of the actual level order. So I honestly have no idea how I did somehow stumble across into this level to begin with, early on, throughout the majority of this entire Ouranos Island, or something like that. So, but either way though, I just got no words to think about it, so. And exponentially have to play this level for the 3rd time, just because I need to get the ridiculous amount of rings, so that way I can able to potentially try to collect some more vault keys to able to actually open up some more chaos emeralds as soon as we're able to actually obtain them, so. But you know, you get the idea of how do I usually say about this for the most part. And let me tell you, the first episode in the 2nd season of Sonic Prime is awesome. Especially noticeable that, again, I'm probably not going to get into more details onto this though, because it contains spoiler elements to it. So, but either way though, I'll let you guys see it for yourself. Especially noticeable is available now on YouTube from out of nowhere. I think that usually becomes published at some point during the Forms Event Tuesday, so because of this though, yeah, that seems rather odd, able to actually release that episode a lot earlier than I was expecting will to. But of course, unlike the forms of how it does on the very first episode of Sonic Prime, it's only for roughly about 22 minutes, unlike 44 minutes, ever since in the beginning portion of Sonic Prime. So either way though, yeah, that's what I can really say about it. Speaking of which though, speaking of something related to Sonic the Hedgehog, recently, there's actually a new DVD compilation that's going to be releasing at some point on September. Specifically, September 19th, was it? yeah, I'm pretty sure it's September 19th, in this year in particular, that the Sonic the Hedgehog, specifically Sonic SatAM series, to be more specifically, the only Season 1, well, in terms of the forms of the Sonic cartoon series, as far as I'm aware, it's actually going to get itself an actual DVD compilation on the forms of Sonic SatAM series, and it's going to be releasing of course, in North America, so as a result, it's going to be releasing, as I said before, it's going to be coming until the September 19th in 2023. I'm guessing to mark the 30th anniversary of the actual series itself, which, as a result, I still haven't got around able to seeing Sonic SatAM series, because I've heard it's actually super duper good, especially noticeable it's way up there than the forms of how it does on this very mediocre Sonic, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, just because it just feels kind of bit all over the place when it comes to not only for its animation, as well as the forms of some of these quirky humor, and on top of that, I will must say though is about the fact that Sonic SatAM is actually the best of the forms of the 90s cartoons, I must say. Especially noticeable that unlike in, you know, as I said before, that the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog is just way too corny for my liking, and in addition to that, with Sonic Underground, it just feels unnecessary. Especially noticeable, it contains multiple songs. Like, it always contains one song in each and every single episode. Like, it kind of does the same thing from the likes of the forms of Donkey Kong Country TV series. I mean, my god, Donkey Kong Country TV series, it still looks awful even to this day. Although, as far as with some toy sales, as already mentioned about this before, it still did surprisingly well in Canada though, back in the day. Like, it only contains like 2 seasons, so yeah, I've got no words to say about this for the most part, I guess, especially concerning with all that particular point where I've seen some brief clips on the Donkey Kong Country TV series, and geez, the animation looks so dated. And in the Journey forms of the visual standpoint, Season 2 is actually a lot worse than the forms of how it does it on the first season. So, I must be quite frank, I'm very glad I did miss that out, especially because I've heard a lot of like memes, and especially noticeable with the forms of some other reviews of it though, and the good thing I did not watch the rest of the forms of the series, because let me tell you, it just feels way too awkward, especially noticeable. I just can't believe that Donkey Kong's voice sounds way off to me, because I much prefer listening to Seth Rogen's voice, I will admit that right away, because his voice work in a Mario Bros. Movie is really good. But compared to the forms of Donkey Kong Country TV series, on the other hand, I'm not exactly sure what the actor's name it was, let me know in the comments down below, but Jesus Louise, his voice, well, I will say, the singing voice is actually alright, but the actual songs is pretty bad. It sounds so bad. And even at one point, they did somehow manage to set the actual yes word in the actual series itself. Like, I think that was on the first episode if I recall. You know, something related to the haircut episode. Like, gee, I can't think about what the actual episode's name at this point in time. Because, let's face it though, everyone else seemed able to instantly forget about that particular series after this point. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of which though, it's about the fact that recently Tetris 99 is actually going to be hosting the next Maximus Cup, and it appears to be by the forms of the 34th Maximus Cup, and this time what appears to be by the forms of a theme based off from Pikmin 4, despite the fact that the game itself isn't even out yet. So as a result, it starts to begin at some point during, I would say, it's about to begin at some point in tomorrow, in the 7th of July, and exponentially it decides to end at some point on Monday the 10th of July. So, yeah, that's what I can say about it. It's just Pikmin 4 themed Tetris 99, so yeah, that must have saved something, despite the game wasn't even out yet, unlike the forms of how it does it on any other, like, themes, like, let's just say, Mario, or let's just say by the forms of, I would say Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury does have the actual theme and stuff like that. So, yeah, again, I apologize for my comment take is a bit still to that point, just because I haven't exactly talked about that much of Tetris 99 for some time. So, anyways, this puzzle seems familiar because we need to able to change the direction for the actual mirror's angles. So, and trying to hit that particular thing right here, and puzzle solved. So either way though, because the good thing I did somehow manage to complete not only The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D on my own time, but also with Majora's Mask 3D as well. So, but either way though, because you know what I'm saying, with the mirror shield will be coming handy for puzzle solving. So yeah, honestly I have no idea why I explain any of this stuff. So, but either way, I do need to able to get myself another portal gear, but hopefully we'll try to find that if we decide to able to come across into another guardian and stuff like that. So, but even then, as far as the actual the plots and all that stuff though that we can probably get into, I will admit though right away is about the fact that, although mind you, we still need able to keep on looking for some Sage memory tokens still, which it might take a bit while, especially noticeable because some of them are actually scattered all over the place, as you can see on the map. But there are a couple of times though, if we do come across into, oh geez, Master Ninja. So I guess that's another one of those guardians where we can about to able to take him on. So, exponentially speaking though, I think we should probably save him for later. Because I think what I'm gonna do is that, I don't know if it's possible I can able to actually make it in time. But hopefully I can be, but either way though, sometimes though, that the timing is a bit unpredictable at points. What if you're trying to able to tackle through some other challenges that is only exclusive to nighttime. So, but either way though, because again, sometimes I just really wish about the fact I kind of wish it'll do the have a feature where you can able to. Oh wait a minute, did I make it? Yeah, I believe I made it. Yes, I did. So, because I can definitely see that little shiny bit on the tree right there. So we have to use the side loop right here, and there we go. Problem solved. And I think we've only got, I would say, one more nighttime challenge. But that what appears to be on the next island that we can able to hop into. Well, exponentially speaking though, about the fact that we'll have to wait for that particular moment and during when we get to the later progressioning for this particular island itself. So, now in terms of the forms of the finale portion of this particular playthrough in mind, well, obviously since about the fact that now we've actually got some extra content during the forms of Sonic Frontiers right now, I don't think we can probably able to take on the finale portion of the game just yet, because obviously we need to take care of the forms of a lot of stuff, like tons of stuff. So, but again, sometimes it takes a bit of a while. So either way, let's just go ahead and blast ourselves all the way from the other side of things, and still we need to get some more memory tokens just in case we can able to actually get some plot story significance. So anyway though, the next thing I want to mention though is about the fact that recently both Mega Man Battle Network Legacy collections, in addition to that, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has received an update, like a patch update. I would have liked able to explain about the forms of Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection update notes, but unfortunately though, I've simply lost track. But in terms of the forms of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, they did somehow manage to able to patch quite a number of things. Like for instance about the fact that, well, I'll explain more details about that at any moments later, because obviously recently, speaking of Super Mario Bros. Movie, it's still doing pretty dang well, especially noticeable currently right now for its box office department is actually now on to $1.348 billion. So yeah, it's still doing rather well, especially noticeable about the fact that we could possibly be able to actually see the next Nintendo movie at some point in the future, or a sequel for that matter. But again, time will tell, especially noticeable because again, I'm probably not going to get into any spoilers for the time being until a few years later or anything else to be more specific. So anyways, let's get into the forms of the actual patch updates they somehow received for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. For instance, by starting the game with from within certain articles releasing on a specific Switch news channel, accessed via the home menu, players can receive a number of in-game items. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. And as well as from that, depending on the state of gameplay progression, or the location in which the data is reopened, there may be cases in which the items cannot be received. So, yeah, that seems kind of problematic, I feel like. So, anyways, in the next issue they've addressed, and that is about the fact that, well, spoiler alert for those who have not played the game yet, they fixed an issue where players cannot progress beyond a certain point in the main quests. For instance, a mystery in the depths and secret of the secret of the ring ruins, and the side adventures like Horatono Village Research Lab, as well as Lorlane Village Restoration Project, and the Shrine Quest, which figures around dying to find it, as well as on the side quests we have Village attacked by pirates, the incomplete stable, and seeking the pirate hideout, and download the update which allows players to able to get progress to past that point. So, and they also fixed an issue where providing fairies from appearing under certain conditions when they originally should have been appeared. So yeah, that's saying something. And they also fixed an issue where they providing the meals providing by Kiana of Lorien Village from changing the under certain conditions. And finally, they did fix an issue where they fixed several of issues have been addressed to improve the gameplay experience. So, well, mind you, I still haven't gone back into the forms of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for some time now, because obviously I'm still busy playing through not only, you know what I'm saying, with Super Mario RPG on my own time for a bit, but also about the fact that I'm currently busy playing through, you know what I'm saying, with Sonic Frontiers on the Switch on my own time, so I can able to practice the forms of certain, new challenges of how this game actually has to offer for, DLC, 2 for its, free content. So, anyways, let's go ahead and take on the forms of the next Guardian, which appears to be Master Ninja. And this is what the actual Guardians like will get pretty tough, especially noticeable about the fact you have to rely on timing, and in addition to that, you do need to able to level up more strength. So as a result about the fact that he's pretty much like the harder version of Ninja, and as you can tell, I'm pretty much almost gonna get butt kicked, so I definitely need to... Oh, jeez! I was not expecting that. Okay, I need to get some more rings. Come on, bring out some more... Ah, oh, come on! I can't believe I just died from one of the Guardians. Oh, jeez. I suppose maybe we can able to try again, I suppose, but sometimes though about the fact that sometimes it doesn't really matter, because obviously about the fact that, well, exponentially speaking though, is about the fact I'm pretty sure we've almost done with all that cyberspace segments, as I said before. So either way though, let's just go ahead and try this Guardian fight again, because I'll admit though, he's definitely one of the toughest of the bunch. I'll admit though right away, because it usually relies on the forms of a lot of praying, and as a result, if you pretty much under-leveled with all that strength, then it's pretty much unbeatable if you do not know what to do. So, but either way though, especially noticeable that he keeps on doing this particular camouflaging, or potentially speaking with double team, if I like to call it, because usually it does remind me of double team from the likes of the Pokemon movesets. So, oh jeez, come on. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, and by the way, something worth noting for is about the fact that this is the reason why this video took so long to able to get it uploaded at this point in time. Not only because of the stupid lag that has been going on in my laptop. Oh, good lord. That was actually a close call. Especially since I have no rings at this point. So at the very least, I did somehow beaten the Master Ninja. So that's super top notch and everything. So either way. What I thought was a little bit weird is about the fact that the Portal Gear's color is actually the exactly the same color as you find in Ouranos Island. So I have no idea why they never seemed able to bring out the green variation of these kind of stuff. But oh well, beggars else can't be choosers, I guess. So anyway, so here we can able to actually access to yet another cyberspace segment. So exponentially, before we deal with all that stuff, I think this pretty much leads me to the another memory token, which I'm presuming so, that might be seems the case. And it's a good thing too, that we've actually got a notification saying find stage, but we'll do that later, because obviously we need to take care of quite a number of things first, before we make the actual fast travels a lot more manageable. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and bring the only portal gear onto this particular transporter right here, so that way we can able to get into the... Well, let's just say at this point in time, this is without a doubt is the shortest level in the entire game, at least as far as I can definitely tell. When if I manage to play this on my own time for a bit, or not only on the Xbox One version, but also on the Nintendo Switch version as well. That's what appears to be this level right here, so... Yeah, anyway, about the fact no matter what though, is about the fact that I'm also getting annoyed again, because of the phones of, like I said before, there's a lot of lag on my laptop at the moment, and exponentially, the most annoying part about it is that once again it glitches out my commentary, which allows me to able to skip certain portions of my commentary. Like, I didn't do it on purpose, it's just how the lag plays out, so it's so inconsistent. I might have to try to fix that at some point during the forms of next Tuesday and Thursday and beyond, so just trying to able to fix this godforsaken solution. So, and this is the level it's gonna brings me to multiple attempts, I'll admit though, because obviously we've only got one more red star ring left, and in addition to that I still need to aim for the S rank time. So yeah, this level's pretty tricky, I'm not gonna lie, just because of all that quick time reactions you have to put up with, and if I was assuming correctly that, well, some levels does seem to able to contain some checkpoints, and exponentially this level does not have any checkpoints. So yeah, wish me luck I guess, especially noticeable I keep on retrying this stage multiple times, because let me tell you, it takes me a lot of practice on this particular stage no matter what, when it comes to doing multiple tasking stuff at once. So, oh yeah, there's another thing I should probably address something about this as well, is that speaking of something related to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, they've mentioned about the fact that there's going to be even more less duplications when it comes to likely sending some items and such. So at the very least they did manage to fix the actual the removal of the duplications. So yeah, that just makes the entire process seems to be a lot hard to cope with when it comes to, like, well, it's hard to explain because, as I said before, it's been about quite a few days ago since I actually have last played Tears of the Kingdom, because I'm still waiting for Pikmin 4, and on top of that, with the forms of playing, you know, Sonic Frontiers constantly, for the sake of the forms of trying to able to complete everything, or should I say, the most painful 100% completion I have to go through, which is around the same thing as the forms of Crash Bandicoot 4, it's about time. Like, I still on about that, especially noticeable because, relatively speaking, playing the game normally is actually a pretty good time on Crash Bandicoot 4, but when it comes to full completion, it will be an absolute marathon of any sorts. So, anyways though, there's another thing I should probably explain about this as well, is that in terms of, like, the upcoming episodes' names, in terms of Sonic Prime Season 2, as far as I'm aware, mind you, it's a bit of a leak situation at the moment, so either way though, we already know for the fact that the first episode of Season 2 is actually called Avoid the Void, and on top of that, when it comes to other episodes' names, that brings us into Battle in the Boss Cage, Second Wind, No Way Out, and a madness to their methods, Double Trouble, as well as Crackling Down. Well, mind you, it's just a leak at the moment, so it's not official just yet though, so I suppose we'll have to wait and join at some point throughout the majority of this month. So, and exponentially, we actually got enough Vault Keys now, so that way we can now able to actually activate the Grey Chaos Emerald. And I think something tells me, with the Grey Chaos Emerald, I think we'll get that Emerald for last, because something tells me about the fact that we need to do a lot of story progression. So because of this though, yeah, at the moment we can only go for 4 emeralds for this point, or technically speaking 3 emeralds for the sake of time. So relatively speaking though, we can able to go after the yellow Chaos Emerald, or the green Chaos Emerald, or the light blue Chaos Emerald, and that's pretty much about it basically. So but either way though, yeah, because like I said before, the grey one will be for later, so just for the sake of the story progression. So either way though, so let's just go ahead and create a side loop to get even more memory tokens, so that should be pretty swell. And exponentially we can now able to talk to Sage by delivering, well, the hard memory tokens, so just to see what really happens. So it's been a very long while since we actually stumbled across into a cutscene like this.
It looks like Tails was right. The ruins were tech the ancients used to upload thoughts into space, but not their bodies.
Correct. They desired to archive all their achievements, creations, and knowledge.
If they couldn't pass it between their own people, they could pass it on to those who inherited this world from them.
This way, they could pass on not only technical knowledge, but their cognizance and intentions as well.
So it's basically a big old backup hard drive for everything about them. That's pretty amazing.
Now, when it comes to likely for some cutscenes, well, assuming of course about the fact that if you managed able to already actually access to the birthday pack for the likes of the forms of Sonic Frontiers, as a matter of fact, that Sage is the only one that she never wears the actual birthday outfit. Only, not only Sonic, but also with the forms of Tails, Knuckles, and Amy as well. Well, at least assuming, of course, about the fact that if you managed able to start the adventure, of course. So, but either way, though, exponentially if you managed able to start the fresh file and stuff like that. So, I guess that makes it pretty much understandable, because obviously about the fact that Sage is pretty much used to with Eggman. So, yeah, you probably get the idea. So, now of course, just like it informs of how it does it, since I would classify for saying, since Sonic Lost World, that basically though is about the fact I'm pretty sure Eggman is gonna temporarily team up with Sonic ever since in well, let's just say in Sonic Lost World, as well as Sonic Adventure 2. So, but either way though, that's actually a nice throwback, especially noticeable about the fact that the actual main threat is going to be on the horizon. So either way though, exponentially speaking, I will save that conversation about that particular final threat of Sonic Frontiers until later on. So, because time will tell, because obviously it has jam-packed full of content where we have to able to go through, so. And still, it might take a bit of while to able to actually get this process going, so. Anyway though, so let's just go ahead and continue going to the next part. So, either way though, there's not much else you can say about this, I guess, so. Oh, and by the way, something's worth noting for is about the fact that out of nowhere, I believe we're about to be getting ourselves the next LEGO Super Mario set, and that's what appears to be by the forms of, let's just say, Larry's and Morton's Airship expansion sets. And as far as I'm aware, it's going to be releasing, as always, on the 1st of August. So, yeah, it looks like we're about to get ourselves a lot of LEGO stuff coming up during at some point until next month. And it seems about the fact that we haven't got far left of it for this point. So, exponentially though, that must have been saying something, I suppose. So, now, in terms of everything else I could possibly explain about this particular stuff though, I suppose that's as far as I can say about for this at this point. Although, mind you, about the fact that Ray is actually going to be doing pretty well when it comes to able to be playing through Super Mario RPG and stuff like that, which, as a result, because the celebration of, you know, the Switch remake is on its way. So, now I don't know if we're miles able to do the Switch remake and during at some point until next year or a year after. Well, I suppose we'll probably stay tuned for that until specifically once we get into like the later portion in 2023 or 2024 or beyond. So it's hard to tell really. So anyway, we got ourselves the yellow key assembled now, so we've only got 4 more to go. Or exponentially, we're about to collect 2 more at the moment, and then we'll save the 6th one for later for the story progression. So, assuming of course about the fact that depending on what difficulty settings you're going to be setting onto, basically if you manage able to set the game on easy mode or the normal mode, basically you come across into a final threat, which appears to be like, well, we're not going to explain any of these details just yet. But if you play the game on hard mode, and exponentially the 4th unlockable difficulty, which appears to be known as extreme, where basically though, I think I should probably save that topic until for later. So, anyways, for now on, we're about to still collect some more memory tokens for Sage, just in case about the fact that we can able to get our progression going. And on top of all that stuff though, that's pretty much as far as I can say about it, so... And I think, relatively speaking though, is about the fact that we haven't got that long now until the Super Mario Bros. Movie, for those of you who lived in the UK. When it comes to both DVD and Blu-ray release, it's actually getting very close to its release, so... Oh shoot, I just realized that the thing itself has blocked progression, I just realized. But I think something tells me it could be like, I don't know, something related to, we need to able to actually open up the bridge or something? Well, mind you, about the fact that it's been about 2 days ago since I've last played this, just because of all that. Again, with all that slow progressioning for our uploading schedules, but we still got back on track. But I'm really hoping until likely in 2024, we're able to actually fix that particular uploading schedules department. Especially noticeable that everything else in 2023 just feels a bit slow at points. So, anyways, let's go ahead and take on the next Guardian, which is kind of similar to the defaults of how it does it for both Ninja as well as Master Ninja. So, I'm guessing this guy is not that much of a challenge. So, assuming of course about the fact that if you keep on doing praying for that particular attack, and just in case you don't are able to lose all of your rings too many times. So, and there we go. And I think we actually did take care of every single Guardian throughout the whole game, according to that particular trophy pop-up. So, that's actually pretty awesome. So, either way... Oh, and by the way, as soon as we get to Starlight, as you can tell, basically it's about the fact that rather than collecting those Star Pit collectibles in order to able to actually access the slot machines, instead, the actual Star Pits is being replaced by chili dogs. I get it because the forms of Sonic Celebration. So because of this though, yeah, it seems pretty cool to be able to have a whole bunch of chili dogs as the actual collectibles for likely try to farm some more of those fishing coins and stuff like that, which is actually pretty swell, I must say. Especially concerning about that particular point, as I said before, that we're still able to actually activate the birthday pack. Although we're probably not going to keep that particular decorative thing for forever. Well, that's just because about the fact that after this, well, assuming of course if we keep on exploring through the most of the actual points of the 5th and final island as of now, basically though is about the fact that if we decide to do some extra content, specifically with not only with new Cocos, but also with the action chain challenges, and also say applies with any other stuff here and there as well. Sometimes though about the fact that we need to change some bit of variety when it comes to like the actual graphical overhaul for certain aspects, so... And it feels like we keep on getting bars, which I think is actually pretty good, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, I think, if I recall correctly, this is the only island in the game that features not one, but 2 fishing spots. So, that's actually pretty handy though, especially noticeable about the fact that, again, you can essentially try to able to finish the game while simply trying to do fishing throughout the majority of the whole thing. So, yeah, that's saying something, so... Anyway though, oh yeah, I should also mention about this as well, is I think, if I recall correctly, and that is about the fact that, well, I think next Wednesday, if I'm assuming so anyway, for those of you who lived in the UK of course, that Monsters University will eventually become 10 years old in the UK version. So, yeah, because I remember back in the day when me and Tiana were very excited about that particular film, as a matter of fact, while looking back. And while looking back on it though, well, I suppose I'll let Ray or myself were able to explain more details about that at some point until our next week. So, anyways though, so let's just go and deal with this next 2D segment here, and just to ensure we'll get ourselves yet another memory token, in addition to another music note that we somehow obtained. So, even though the music notes are just for bragging rights, I guess, aside from the fact that it just gives you some more musical track choices, for the sake of the forms of, in the actual, the overworld itself. Well, it's still a shame about the fact that you can't able to actually select the actual, music during the forms of cyberspace segments, sadly. They're able to give you a lot of nostalgia throwbacks too, sadly. So, but either way though, because I guess bigger styles can be choosers, I suppose, so... nighttime really doesn't help me during the forms of the actual Tetris segments, even though, surprisingly enough, I did this one on the first attempt, but for some reason on the other one, I seem to have a lot of struggle with. mainly because of the forms of the depth perception or something, so... which I'm also able to try to investigate that during at some point whenever we keep on, like, continue proceedings for this island, basically. So, I don't think it's possible for me to able to actually get into the story progression anytime soon, but that's just because about the fact that at the moment I'm still getting into the forms of a lot of exploration factor, and in addition to that, just trying to take down more Guardians before we're able to get ourselves more portal gears, so just in case we can able to activate all of those cyberspace transporters during that specific period. So, alright, block and pray and exponentially. Is he done? Oh wait, he's not done. Oh jeez, I was not expecting that for that quick fast reaction timing. So, oh jeez, okay. At least we did somehow beat him up, so there we go. So I think that should be enough to able to actually open up some more cyberspace transporters. So yeah, that might be exponential, so... Alright, so let's continue moving forward, and yeah, everything else will be pretty much expected at this point. So either way though, because again, sometimes it takes a bit while to able to go from one place to the other, so, and, you know, it's not much else I can say. I would have liked able to explain something else, but honestly guys, that's just what I can really say about this, I guess, for this particular point. So, anyways, with that being said though, I think we should probably end things up this point right here, so join me next time for more of Let's Play of Sonic Frontiers, and that is about the fact that we need to activate the bridge by simply doing yet another computer hacking system. And on top of that, we'll get some more Chaos Emeralds along the way as well, and do some usual stuff. So I'll see you guys until on Tuesday. Later, fellas.